So where are we today? This is Sunday, Saturday, Friday, Good Friday. Good Friday, and it's April the 7th. And for the first time we've got sun. It feels like spring is headed our way finally. If anything, it's the first day we haven't had rain at some point through the day. And in the last 4 weeks that I've done absolutely nothing to this little canter, it's rained on every Friday that I've taken off, because I've taken Fridays off for the last 4 weeks before this weekend in order to use up my annual leave, but also days off that I was going to work on the canter and sort of just progress with little things, cleaning up jobs, etc. So this is a little bit back to front because I've already done the job that I'm going to quickly report on today, and then you'll see it back to front. Here comes George, the cat. He's inspecting everything as usual. He does like helping, and at the end of the day I'm not too fussed. If he helps, it suits me. Back to the canter. If you can recall way back when I worked on just cleaning out the inside, the pile of rubbish that had come out of there was so much building rubble, as if somebody had actually used this as a proper wheelbarrow to move rubble. Today I ended up with a handful of sand from each of the seats that was just tucked in behind the seat bolsters, or the seat back I should say, and the seat base. Once I'd taken all that out, I then took a vacuum cleaner, sucked out as much as I could dry, and then switched to a Vax Wet and Dry cleaner, which again I've used previously on the Nissan Micro that I brought back from kind of a certain death, I guess, and it does look a bit better. Unfortunately, you're going to see the end result, and the final result will only be in a couple of days when it's fully dried up, because obviously when fabric is wet it shows up darker, so there might be a bit of darkness visible, but actually the minute it dries up it should be a lot cleaner. The water, you'll see as well, was really filthy. It's quite muddy, to say the least. So just a quick walk around the two seats to show you that, and other than that, nothing much to report. I'm still waiting at this point in time for the legal paperwork of ownership to come, the V5C, because when I bought the vehicle it was bought on trust and on the fact that the owner said that he didn't have a current V5C on him. I know people lose them constantly, so I had to pay £25 to the DVLA, which is our English version of the, I cannot remember the American version, but of the traffic department essentially, and you then pay £25. They go, they research for 4 weeks to see if this vehicle has been reported stolen or missing, at which point, if not, you get to keep the vehicle and you get the documentation to show ownership, which you can then hand on when you sell the vehicle next time, or you keep it indefinitely if you're going to keep the vehicle indefinitely. Likewise, if the vehicle is reported stolen, and there's various avenues to figure that out, because I had to submit chassis number, engine number, etc. with the submission, then you will have the police knock on your door, I suspect, with a low bed loader to pick up this vehicle and return it to the rightful owner. If you spent a lot of time and money on it, you will lose it, and I'm not sure what the prosecution routes are on that, whether the previous seller is prosecuted, whether I get prosecuted. I'm assuming that, knowing the law, everyone gets prosecuted, so whether you're good or bad, you'll get your butt kicked. But one has to go on faith. The previous car that I built was bought in the same way. The guy had owned it for many years, lost the paperwork in a house move, and when I bought it, it came straight back at me that there was no claimed ownership, although there wasn't much of a car, and I got to have ownership of the vehicle. So with no further ado, I guess just a quick walk around the seats, and then I will show, that's the end result in fact, but I will then show you a little bit more of how I got to it. So welcome to my channel. Thanks for watching, I guess, first and foremost. If you like what you see, if you learn something, that's great. Please do comment, subscribe if you should want to, and also I always say share, because you might have somebody else who's got a similar vehicle with really grubby seats, and it's always good learning from each other how we've gotten to an end result. Thank you. first things first, George. This is Mr. George over here, is always helping. Hey boy. He's a bit of a helper cat, as you know. Got to be around where the work's happening. Hey George. Of course, Chevy tailgate bench. This is one of his favorite spots because the sun is here most of the day. Right now it's late afternoon, and as I say, this is where we're at. You can see on this side it appears dark, but I believe that once it's dried, it's probably a factor of the fabric as well. Once it's dried out completely, the seats should look a whole lot healthier. I would love to know if it actually had headrests at some point and reinstate some of those, even if I can just find ones that are mismatched, maybe grey or some similar color that'll match. I'm quite happy to fit those. But even the seats, you can see, have had a bit of a hard life. There's a bit of damage down there, which isn't great, but I'll probably take a needle and thread and try and just stitch that back together. Might even be able to find some of this fabric, you never know. And then a couple of cigarette burns there. There's a bit of probably chewing gum or something which I couldn't get out. Another small cigarette burn over there, who knows what, but I can live with all of that damage. So that's basically it. My barbecue in the background. Hopefully I'll fire that up soon enough. But yeah, thanks for joining, and now I'll show you the other way around, the way this thing got initiated earlier on, cleaning up, and that's it.